Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bangers, Bops, and Banter. I'm one of your hosts, Joe. I'm here with Brendan, my co-host.
Hi, I'm the co-host, Brendan.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa. And today we have a guest with us.
Yes, I am guest. I'm guest
wow.
one.
Thank you, guest
Welcome,
one.
guest one.
Thank you. My name is actually guest two. I lied.
Oh, Jesus fucking
Well,
Christ.
we're gonna have to change.
Where's
the
guest
script.
one? What do you do with him?
Well, I'll just say guest one is enjoying a nice cup of hot cocoa under the earth.
Oh, fuck.
You have a cave? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, this is pretty
Can
cool.
I have hot cocoa
You know
in your
me,
cave?
caveman over here.
All right.
Well, actually, wait. My real name's Mitchell. If no one knows, my real name's Mitchell.
I was gonna keep calling you guest two the entire podcast.
I mean, go for it if you want. Go for it.
But yeah, whoa. We got a cool episode coming up, I guess.
Mhm.
Hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, we do.
Confidence.
First we got some. Yeah, we're very competent, as you can see. Our first. I lost my train of thought. First up, we got some music and movie news we're gonna go over quickly. Then we're gonna be talking about John Mayer's live album Where the Light Is, and then we're talking about the movie Elf with Will Ferrell, directed by Jon Favreau. I find Jon Favreau to be really funny, but I don't know why. Just in my head, because I think of him and I think he's like the guy in Iron Man 2 who gets blown up.
Isn't that Iron Man 3 when he gets blown up?
No, wait, is it? Oh, it is, isn't it? Because that's the one with the fire,
people that blow up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
but then how is he happy in Spider-Man Homecoming? Never mind. Sorry,
he
continue.
survives
I'm just
getting blown up. It's okay. He's Jon Favreau.
Yeah, he's in the hospital, and then
spoilers.
Oh yeah.
If no one's seen Iron Man 3, I'm sorry. You're a little late to the club.
You're not really missing that much, honestly. Yeah. I don't know. Let's get into some music and movie news. Start with music news. Lil Wayne has not had a good week.
What's going on with Lil Wayne?
So firstly, he has pled guilty to federal weapons charges.
Okay, no biggie.
Well, actually,
no biggie.
one charge. He has one count of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. So that's not great for him. He has also been sued by his former manager for over $20 million.
Ooh, that's not a little penny change. That's a lot of penny change.
Yes. Apparently, the manager and management, I don't know, business, whatever, have said that they're owed millions in unpaid commissions. So
this is
but what classifies as unpaid commissions?
Let's see if they they claim that they've managed over 30 lawsuits for Wayne and received very little compensation for their work. And he hasn't paid the promised 10% of recovery from lawsuits, 10% of the master recordings sale, and 17% in commissions from overall management. So, quite a bit.
Well, Lil Wayne's got a lot of money.
That's true.
That is true. He is definitely worth a lot at this point.
It's just flashbacks.
His net worth's like 150 million.
Oh wow.
So he's probably fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now it's gonna be 130
million.
130 million now.
Doing math live. Oof. We did it though.
Yeah. Next in music news, FKA Twigs has sued Shia LaBeouf, and she alleges relentless abuse and also assault from him, which is
Shia, don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't abuse don't abuse people.
Yes.
We'll have to see what happens with this. It's pretty oof.
Yeah, oof.
Ooh.
Ooh.
And finally, in music news, something to lighten the mood a bit. Actually, I mean, this is still actually kind of fucked up. Kanye West is facing 2 class action lawsuits over the alleged poor treatment of workers on his Christian opera.
Of course, it's a Christian opera.
Yeah. It's very let's I'm sure one sec, I'm just trying to find the specific charges that were alleged. Apparently both suits involve California's ABC test, which helps determine whether a worker is an employee or independent contractor. I guess I assume what's happened is basically Kanye West treated them as independent contractors, but the work they did constituted as being full-time employees, or something along those lines, which means they don't get benefits and a bunch of stuff that they should get. So yeah, I'm not surprised. Kanye West seems not great at
He didn't seem like he's good with money. Yeah,
managing people.
Yeah.
So yeah. Moving on to movie news. Do you guys like Dungeons and Dragons? Because there's a Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Yeah. Ooh.
And it's gonna star Chris Pine.
Wait,
yeah,
what?
Okay.
Chris Pine is gonna be starring in a new Dungeons and Dragons movie.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah. It's currently scheduled for a May 27th, 2022 release date.
All right, I guess. I mean, like,
yeah, all right.
It's just a fantasy adventure.
It's another one of those Chris's just doing his thing.
Yeah, I don't know. D&D seems like a weird thing to make a movie out of.
Because D&D isn't really a story. It's just kind of like a world that you can do things in. So
it's not even a world. It's just like it's a game rule set essentially.
Yeah.
There are worlds within D&D, but like it feels weird.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it'd either be one of the biggest movies of the year or one of the worst movies of the decade.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next in movie news, movies have been added to the National Film Registry.
Ooh.
This week. We got some classic films. We got A Clockwork Orange, we got The Dark Knight, and we also have Shrek.
Okay, Shrek.
I'm really happy.
On top.
I think those are actually very deserving films. Yeah. I think I just find it really entertaining. Like Shrek is one of the films that they added. I'm happy about it.
It's so great. Shrek is honestly my favorite film of those 3. So.
Damn.
Clearly, someone needs a little more Shrek in his life.
Damn. Maybe. There's also, I believe, the Blues Brothers have been added, and also Grease. So, yeah, cool. Next, Chris Evans has been announced as the voice of Buzz Lightyear in a new Pixar movie. It is essentially, it's been described as like a film within a film in the Toy Story universe. So it's like, I believe it's supposed to be like the TV show that Buzz Lightyear's in, like a story from a TV episode, essentially, or something like that.
So it's not Tim Allen?
Yeah, it's not Tim Allen.
Why is it not Tim Allen?
It's Chris Evans. I don't know.
Please.
That's kind of upsetting.
Yeah. I guess it's fine. but it's gotta be Tim Allen, you know. Chris Evans is cool too, I guess.
Okay.
He's no Tim Allen.
I mean, I wonder if he'll sound like him.
Yeah, it's interesting. It says Evans isn't technically replacing Tim Allen.
Kind of sounds like he's replacing Tim Allen. Like, I mean, not to be rude, but it kind of sounds like it.
Think of Lightyear as the movie within the movie, as it will be the imagined adventure on which Andy's favorite action figure was based. So yeah, it's
I see. So this is like where the toy came
in his
from,
head,
I guess.
Yeah, essentially.
Oh.
So,
all right,
that'll be interesting.
That will be interesting.
So does that mean every toy has a personality and they're not just the same?
Well, I guess because they're all so like there is some movie. Lightyear is this movie that stars Buzz Lightyear, and then they made an action figure of Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, but does that mean every action figure acts like Tim Allen, or do they all have different personalities? I'm sorry, this just kind of ate my mind.
I think they're all Tim Allen, but they're all based off Chris Evans.
So then why is Chris Evans Chris Evans?
No. Chris Evans is the original, I think, is what we're trying to say.
But why isn't all the toys like Chris Evans?
Maybe it's like a new one. Like it's not the original. It's like they're rebooting the movie within the Toy Story universe with a new voice actor, you know?
That makes sense. That makes so much sense. I get it. I completely get it. If I was in their shoes, I'd do the same thing, except have Tim Allen voice him.
All right, next in movie news, this is technically TV news, but like I had to put it in because how could I resist? iCarly is being rebooted.
That's right. iCarly.
And the original show's stars are also coming back for it, which is pretty cool.
Including Gibby?
Including who?
Gibby.
Oh wait, is Gibby? Oh, I don't know.
He's the only one I care about. And Spencer, I forget the actor that played Spencer, but
oh man, Spencer is like amazing.
He's so good.
I really hope they just straight up make him like a wizard.
Pretty much, he can just light things on fire.
Yeah,
that have no reason to be on fire.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He should literally be a straight up like wizard in the new show. You just light stuff on fire. Yeah. All right, and finally, actually, this is music news. I just realized, but, whatever. It's Trapt. They're back.
Oh my god! I didn't know they left.
I'm so excited because it's Trapt. So the story has like a couple layers. So basically, Trapt's Twitter account was suspended from Twitter because I'm assuming it's the lead singer Chris Taylor Brown has been tweeting most of these things. Basically, he defended statutory rape.
Oh.
I'll read one of the quotes or one of the tweets.
That's not good.
I don't call a 24-year-old woman who takes advantage of a 15-year-old boy who is entirely through puberty a pedophile. So yeah, as you can imagine, their Twitter account was suspended for this.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to recover.
Yeah. But then...
Oh no, there's more.
There's more. Okay, so then Trapt went to Parler because that's where you go when you get banned from Twitter. You go to Parler. And basically the band announced that they're parting ways with their lead singer. He's out of the band.
But he's the one who's like headstrong to take you on. Headstrong to take on anyone.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. But he's gone. I don't think they actually... I'm pretty sure he found out through their announcement. Parler too.
That's gotta sting. I mean, how could you not see it coming though? It like...
Yeah.
Oh, man. Trapt is turning over a new leaf, maybe. So we'll see how this goes.
Maybe. Oh man, it's kind of hilarious.
So
All
I'm
right.
glad that they didn't just like break up from that because they're trapped. They gotta keep on going. They're headstrong.
The lead singer. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is it for the news. Now we get to talking about a little album. Actually, a big album. Mitchell, would you like to introduce the record you suggested?
Well, this record is John Mayer Live, Where the Light Is, and it was performed live in Los Angeles. They have there's a whole video. You can watch the entire album on YouTube, or I think you could rent it with higher quality or something like that. And it's all live. It all interweaves into each other because it's live. And it's just personally one of my favorites, probably top 3 albums that he's ever put out. And it's just brilliant. It's just brilliant. You should listen to it. Stop what you're doing right now. Don't stop. Stop this podcast right now. Listen to all of it, the whole 2-hour long recording, and just come back and listen to it if you haven't, bitch. Or I will come and shred some good guitar licks in your face.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, I don't know people who don't know John Mayer. He's real popular, but he's kind of like a bluesy,
with the ladies,
pop singer, I guess.
He's definitely bluesy pop. I'd also like to say a little jazz, sprinkle on some jazz right there.
Well, yeah, I mean, it kind of depends on the album from him. I'd say some of his stuff is kind of a lot more folk, but definitely also, there's a lot of different genres and styles he kind of goes through on this live record.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it be performing his own songs or covering songs. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. There are sections of this record that I like more than others, I will say.
I agree with that. I mean, I like a lot of it, but I think I appreciate more just due to the craft.
Yeah. I personally really enjoy a lot of the folky songs on this record, and I'm not as big on especially the more there's kind of a section of this record after you get past Freefall, and after Every Day I Have the Blues, where it kind of transitions almost into like a funk rock area. It reminds me a lot of Red Hot Chili Peppers there, and I'm not that big on that section of the record until it kind of gets back to what I'd say is more, I guess, just his more popular songs, I guess, on the second disc.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do feel like that section of the record, he's not really playing to his strengths personally. I think his voice really works well with the very textured sounding guitars on especially the first 4 or 5 tracks. And I really love those songs. And then you kind of get into the more bluesy stuff, and I just feel like he's not quite the best fit on those tracks personally.
I definitely do feel like his voice doesn't match the blues too much, but I just think his playing is just brilliant. I mean, his voice isn't the greatest. I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, it's pretty fucking good. But it definitely, I feel like his voice is more of a higher pitch, not raspy but not clean, if that makes sense. And it's just that sound and the way he's playing, I just feel like I think you're right, his voice and the guitar don't really match up 100%, but they match up a little bit. Sorry, Brent. What were you gonna say?
I want to mention that this like album is separated into 3 sections. It's 3 different sets from the live performance. So the first is the acoustic set, which is from Neon to Free Fallin'. Then it's the trio set, which is a lot of the more bluesy tracks, from Every Day I Have the Blues to Bold as Love. And finally, it's the full band set, and this is with his normal like touring band. And that's from Waiting on the World to Change to I'm Gonna Find Another You. So
That one hurts, Brendan. You're gonna find another me.
yes, you, Mitchell, another you. So yeah, the entire second disc is like his normal live band stuff, and that's pretty much because this is touring supporting his Continuum album, and a lot of what they're playing there is from that album, Continuum. However, the first disc with those first 2 sets, he's definitely trying a lot of different things. There's stuff from his previous album, Try, a little bit from Continuum, but the covers and stuff, I do want to say there's some, I think, pretty cool covers here. I really, really enjoy the Free Fallin' cover, actually. It's actually probably like one of my favorite tracks off of this entire live album.
Yeah. I have to say, as someone who doesn't really like Free Fallin', I enjoy the Free Fallin' cover. I think it actually works very well.
Yeah. He does like the original song Justice while also definitely putting his own spin on it, and sounds really good. But he also is covering some Jimi Hendrix on that trio set there, which they're interesting covers, I guess. I'm not a fan, but they're not like I wouldn't really expect John Mayer to like be covering Jimi Hendrix, I guess, but he does.
Really?
Well, I guess Jimi Hendrix is like definitely like an inspiration. I don't know. I just like Jimi Hendrix isn't like an artist that I feel like needs to be covered, I guess.
But that's the beauty.
I guess.
I'm sorry, that was a stupid answer. It's interesting because I definitely like, I don't know, I see John Mayer as definitely, I mean, he's my favorite guitarist, so like I've done extensive research on him, but I definitely, and I might be biased in this answer because of all the research, but I definitely see him as like a Jimi Hendrix player to a certain degree. Like so when I started following him and he said that he liked Jimi Hendrix, I hadn't really heard too much of Jimi Hendrix, and I started listening to him, and I then stopped and then only listened to John Mayer, and I could definitely see the correlations of the way that he plays and bends his notes, and the way that he slides the notes to up the fret and goes down. Like it just made more sense to me, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah. I guess like John Mayer is like kind of giving a salute to his inspirations here, which I understand. However, how the actual songs, like cover songs, turn out, I don't know. They're not. I think he could have like tried to do something more with them, I guess, and they would have been more interesting.
I guess, but have you seen the video of it?
I can't say that I have.
It is.
I didn't really.
It is nasty. Like watching him play Neon and watching him do all this stuff. Like hearing it is one thing, and I understand that hearing it's like still sounds complex, and like I feel like hearing it compresses to a certain degree. But if you watch the video of him, like even just watch like the Neon clip or watching him do the Free Falling clip, like it just kind of eats you up. It's like what? Like him playing Neon especially, because you just see, like I've tried to learn playing that Neon that he plays in the concert. It is probably the most difficult song I will ever try to learn, because it's just how his fingers turn into freaking like I don't know, a spider. Like it's just crazy. Like he just like it's just moving around in ways that, and his hand is enormous. So like He could he literally like puts his thumb on the 3rd fret and goes all the way down to like the 7th with his pinky. It is like he's got a huge ass hand. And it's like my tiny ass hands are like, oh, I can't make it. But like he's able to do all this shit because he's got like fucking bare hands. It's crazy. It's just like he was fucking made to be good at guitar. He's got huge hands and he's got fast fingers, which doesn't make sense. But he's got it.
So, the reason you chose this album is because you're jealous that John Mayer can play guitar with his huge spider hands.
Oh my god. I would love to have hands that big to play guitar. No, you're right. I am jealous. I am very jealous. But like, I have not put 10% of the work that John Mayer's put into his whole guitaring.
I don't think that's a word.
I really just said guitaring. I said it's a word now. Guitaring into his practices. That's what I meant to say.
Definitely.
Sorry. What did you guys think of it?
What, of the record?
Yeah, the whole thing. Like, what did you like?
I enjoyed it. I definitely the second section, the middle section of the blues, is definitely my least favorite part. I think when he's doing his own material, it's the most interesting.
Why is that?
I feel like he doesn't quite fit on the bluesy tracks. Like,
what do you think that is for? Like, do you think that's his voice, the way he plays?
I don't know. I think part of it is that. Well, I mean, part of it I think is just I'm not a big blues guy. I don't really enjoy blues very much, but also I do feel like his voice doesn't quite complement the bluesy guitars like as much as his voice complements the like purely acoustic stuff or his solo material.
Yeah.
And then also I will also say that I think some of there are tracks on here where I think if you're listening to it just as an album, they feel very long and drawn out, which would not happen if you were like watching it live. Like specifically, I forget which track.
The 10-minute one.
You have, like Out of My Mind, just like 10 minutes long, and there's a lot of stuff going on in that track, but it definitely feels very drawn out, and on like an album, like when you're just listening through it, it's like, oh, this is going on a long time.
Yeah.
For sure. I definitely think the record picks up a lot when he gets to his not his solo material, his like band material. I do really enjoy especially Slow Dancing in a Burning Room. I think that track
one of my favorites.
Really great. Especially the chorus. I think the chorus on the track's really well done. Yeah, definitely. This is a record where it's like I can see like if I saw him live, I think this would be like a really cool experience. I definitely think if you're a fan of John Mayer, you've probably already listened to this, but if you are and you haven't, then go like check out him playing it live on YouTube for sure. I think that would be super cool. So yeah.
I'd probably have to agree with like a lot of what you're saying. From just hearing it, like I said, I haven't seen the YouTube clips, but he seems to engage with his audience pretty well, and the audience seems pretty receptive of him, which would make me think that this would be a pretty good live and like visual experience. However, with like just the audio, there are definitely times where it gets a bit slow, perhaps. There's like a lot of good stuff here, I will admit. Like, it's a thoroughly entertaining 2 hours, which can be tough for a 2-hour long live album, but
just sitting down and trucking through.
Yeah, no. There's a lot of good stuff, and like, I don't know, I've heard John Mayer tracks here and there because he's quite popular, and it's like when he gets to a song that you're just like, singing along, having a good time, like Gravity. I was singing along to that, you know.
That beginning though in Gravity.
Yeah.
Mwah, great. It is so good.
The Otis Redding cover of "I've Got Dreams to Remember" and how it leads into Gravity. I really enjoyed that aspect of that track. That was pretty cool. And yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of good things going on here, but it is a lot of just stuff in general. So
it's definitely like a full cake. It's not just a slice.
Yeah. I would say if you're trying to get into John Mayer, start with not this.
What is it? Small squares or square
Squares?
for rooms or something
That's
like
his
that. Room
debut.
for squares. Thank you. That's a good one. Or even Continuum is probably his best album.
Yeah. He's you know,
All right.
he really is John Mayer.
He sure is.
Damn. What an observation. Yeah, do we want to give ratings for this record? Does anyone want to start? I'll start,
can do
I
it.
guess. I definitely think if you're into John Mayer, or if you enjoy John Mayer, definitely check it out. There's a lot of good stuff on here. I definitely, for me at least, check out those first 5 tracks that are part of the acoustic set. I think that is definitely the best stuff on this record, and I think that stuff is really fantastic. But yeah, I definitely think this is a good live album. If you really like John Mayer, it's you'd probably love this record for sure. For me, as someone who has enjoyed John Mayer in the past, but is not a giant fan or anything, I think it's pretty decent. I'd give it a 6.5 to a 7. It's got that middle section for me just kind of brings the record down. It's just not something that I'm not a blues guy, so I'm not really interested in it. But
Yeah.
would still recommend it. Don't listen to it if you're just getting into John Mayer, though. That's not.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
That's fair. A lot of what Joe is saying.
This is kind of like a raw John Mayer. It's like everything.
Yeah.
It is. He's like, "Hey guys, I'm John Mayer," and then the crowd goes wild. "Woo, John Mayer, we love you. Take your shirt off, John Mayer. Show us your abs." Sorry, what? Anyways.
You got him. Literally, that is exactly what I think of when I think of John Mayer. How'd you know?
I just have a poster of him naked on my wall. Anyways.
Oh, send a copy over from me, please.
Yeah, this is it's a decently compelling live album. It's a chonky boy, as we've said. Lot to get into. Not a bad experience by any means. I definitely like you said, the first 5 tracks of that acoustic set, pretty great. And it slows down a little bit afterwards. I'm not lost during the blues trio set, but it's definitely not the most compelling thing either. So I'm probably at a strong 7 on this album.
I'll take that. A 7. Nice. Yeah. I mean, going back through it, I did not remember all the tracks, and it was a chunky boy. So I'd probably, as a John Mayer fan, I mean, I still listen to a lot of these songs almost on a daily basis, if not every other day, or think about it at least once a day, because I'm just damn, what about that riff though? So I'll give it an 8. I'm gonna give it an 8 because I do feel like there definitely are some tracks that are a little long, and sometimes the blues can get a little too bluesy for me, and it steps away from John Mayer's image. And I know he was doing that purposely, but I came to see John Mayer, and I understand he wants to do some blues, but spice it up a little with some John Mayer on top, huh? And he does, but just not all the time. So 8.
All right.
Wow. All right. Well, that brings us to the movie we all watched for this week.
Home Alone 2 Lost in New York.
Oh, you spoiled it.
We watched Home Alone 2 Lost in New York again.
Don't forget Home Alone 3. We also had to watch that,
and
too.
Home Alone 4, Taking Back the House.
And
I
Home
didn't know
Alone
that
5.
one existed. That one, too. Did not
Home
know
Alone
it
5 doesn't
existed.
exist. There's only 4, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, it does. Nope, there's 5. There literally are 5.
Are there actually?
Well, what the fuck is my
Yes,
question?
there are 5.
There's no way there's 5 Home Alone movies.
Yeah, there are.
Home Alone, The Holiday Heist?
Yeah.
What? This has a 30% on Rotten Tomatoes. I think.
Oh, that is not good.
You know, I think this is.
I'm pretty sure it's direct to video.
Oh wait, I think I've seen this. Like
You've seen it?
like a distant memory on like when I was like not like 9 on TV. It just came on accident. And I was just like, this is like that one movie. And then I read the title and it was Home Alone 5.
Oh man.
This looks like a movie that was parroting
Home Alone.
It was parrying Home Alone. Like you know those bad movies that are like Scooby Doo and then there's Raffy Doo. Like you know those. Like this is what I feel like Home Alone 5 is. Home Alone. But it's like actually the same thing.
Yep.
You're right. It was direct to video.
Yep. Anyway,
Poor
what do you
kid.
guys
Ended his
think of
career
Home
before
Alone
it even
5?
started.
What do you guys think of Home Alone 5? What are your thoughts on it?
Well, I think that's his the acting role I've always looked for. It was raw. It was true. The emotions were real. And that hairdo, man. I'm just obsessed with that hair. I'd give it 2 thumbs up.
Amazing. Beautiful. But actually, we watched a different movie for this week, called Elf. Mitchell, you want to introduce us to Elf?
Well, where do I start? Elf.
At the beginning.
At the beginning. Elf is about a movie with...
It is about a movie.
It's about a movie, man, that has a kid on accidentally goes into Santa's bag at an orphanage. And somehow Santa's dumbass didn't see this baby, this live thing in his Santa bag and brought it all the way back to the North Pole. And then he crawls out and all the elves are like, what do we do with this thing? And then they're like, let's
throw
keep
it away.
Let's make it Jesus. And they're like, let's keep it. So they kept it and they gave it to old Papa Elf, right? And Papa Elf raises him. And then, you know, it's Will Ferrell all of a sudden. And he's like fucking 6'4" with like 2-3 elves. And the whole movie is about him going to find his real father. Well, actually, I don't know why I put parentheses up. It's his actual father. It's his father. He goes to New York, and it's just him falling in love, having the world's greatest coffee, skating around, giving Christmas cheer, sleeping in windows of shops. It's a great adventure. There's the candy cane forest. There's a raccoon attack. I think you should watch it if you haven't, which I don't know why you hadn't. If you haven't seen Elf, you need to fucking get out of your 2 rocks you live under.
I guess.
This movie came out, what,
spoilers for
2003? It's been 17 years.
Or,
also,
I
everybody's seen Elf. Like, if you haven't seen Elf, what are you doing?
No. I hadn't seen
I know,
Elf
what are you
before
doing?
this.
Wait, what? You've never seen Elf before this?
I'd seen like parts of it
Joe,
on like TV.
are you okay?
After watching Elf, I'm not.
Wait, what? What do you mean? Do you not like it?
No, it was.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so a lot of the comedy in Elf is cringe comedy.
Yeah.
And Will Ferrell being like doing insane shit in public.
Okay, you know that one scene where he goes up to the guy and he's like, Santa, Santa. Oh, you're not Santa. I'm sorry. That was a real person. That's not an actor. That's a real person.
Oh my god. Yeah. A lot of the like cringe comedy I'm really bad with. Like I can't watch The Office. Like I literally can't because I curl up into a ball. I'm like, no, please stop.
Man,
it's weird. There are jokes that are legitimately really good. There's one, probably my favorite joke is he walks up to the perfume like sample person and he just sprays perfume into his mouth like 10 times and then is like, oh my god, it tastes awful.
It's such a good movie.
It's definitely, I have to say, the like beginning of the film is like, those sets are like really fantastic. They're super like detailed and interesting. I actually wish more of the film like used those sets.
I don't know if you know, but there's this great documentary on Netflix called "The Films That Made Us," and they actually they just posted. They actually just released one about Elf and one about The Nightmare Before Christmas, and they also have one on Home Alone. They have one Die Hard, Ghostbusters, and Dirty Dancing, and I believe one more. I just can't think of it. But like, so that back on the sets. So they actually filmed it backwards. They filmed it in New York first because the New York was going to be the most complex shots of like, and they had a really like crunched time zone for New York, and that's why it was like kind of guerrilla. So like Will Ferrell, all those people, he's actually reacting like with real people. All those shots are with real people, basically.
Oh my god!
So they called it the Pursuit of Happiness shot because in Pursuit of Happiness, when he comes out and gets his job, he's like he's in that crowd of people. That one shot where he's with that crowd of people, those are all real people. Those aren't like extras. So then they went and filmed in studio sets, and they actually they built it was wide. They were really big, and I think I may be wrong, but I don't even think they filmed in New York or Los Angeles. They might have filmed somewhere else because the studio sets were so big, and they actually didn't even have the rights to because I don't know if you could tell, but their inspiration was Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yeah.
And they started doing it and having all this inspiration, and then also the lady who did the stop motion for the snowman did it all in one day. 28 or 27 hours. She did all the stop motion for the snowman guy.
Holy crap.
And they were almost done with the movie, and they were like, then they got sued by the people who made Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer because they were like, hold up. How much is inspiration and how much is copying? But they passed it and they were fine. Okay. But I thought it was just interesting. And guess who voiced the whale? Who says bye, buddy?
I don't know.
Jon Favreau.
Jon Favreau? Oh my.
Really?
Jon Favreau in this movie twice. My God.
Oh yeah.
Narcissistic piece of shit.
This was also his first.
No, I know.
This was also his first directing movie too. I don't know if you know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Really? It was his first. Sorry, I take that back. He did direct a boxing movie beforehand, but this was like his first, I think, more big budget elf movie.
Yeah, it had like a $33 million budget.
Yeah, and it made $220 million off of its $33 million budget. So, real good job. And it's probably made more since then.
Oh, I mean, through merchandise, and I bet you there are T-shirts, towels, headbands.
Also, it gets rerun
toilet paper.
Every year, so.
Yeah, and it's constantly on TV, all the time. Even when it's not Christmas, I've probably seen Elf. It's just always on.
Yeah. You choking on seltzer there, bud?
I'm gonna die. Give me a second. We're down the wrong pipe.
All right. We'll talk about Elf in the meantime. Okay. What are some things I like about Elf? It's a Christmas classic. You can't hate Elf. It's against the law or something like that. I don't know. I feel like I said this last week about Home Alone. like the week before Christmas break in like elementary school, middle school, probably more middle school, teachers just like didn't want to teach, so they just like throw on a movie. And I feel like teachers would always either throw on Home Alone or Elf. So I've seen like the first half of Elf a billion times, and the second half of Elf maybe half a billion times. But like it's just like
That's a lot
childhood
of
nostalgia and stuff like that. A lot of it.
Oh no,
What?
definitely
Yeah.
childhood nostalgia. I mean, the whole movie is basically just a nostalgic trip for me.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's just such a good, and I mean, like, even in today, like how it's been, what, 17 years you said since the movie's been made, and we still say bye buddy like all the time.
Yeah. No, it's like it's a fun like Christmas movie. It's not technically that impressive of a movie. The plot is barely there.
It's kind of,
But like
I mean, it's kind of the thing is most of the plot is kind of just like it's like this string to hang off like Will Ferrell doing dumb comedy stuff on. Definitely when it gets to like, especially the ending, when it gets too like plot centric, it's like it starts to lose me, definitely.
Like, when around in the movie do you mean plot centric?
Once Will Ferrell, once it like there's just thing, it's towards like the third act essentially, when it's like, oh, Santa's sleigh crashed, we gotta help fix it and stuff. That part definitely is like a very Christmas movie. Where it's we gotta have the moral at the end of the Christmas film about believing, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I will say, realistically, if anyone else did this movie other than Will Ferrell, I really don't think it would have been anywhere as near successful. I mean, it might have been like
Eric Andre.
Fun fact, they're actually thinking of casting Jim Carrey. I read that somewhere.
Jim
That
Carrey.
I feel like Jim Carrey would work.
But that would have been a different tone.
Jim Carrey's like a little bit like
Will Ferrell
weirder than Will Ferrell.
Yeah, Will Ferrell has that awkward old boy, like a young boy in an old man's body kind of feel. And I think if Jim Carrey did it, it just would have been like a Grinch without makeup. like that's kind of how I feel like it would have been.
Oh man. Man, that Grinch movie is so fucking weird. But like,
it really
it's weird because like I don't like.
I always feel like I'm on an acid trip watching it. Like, I don't know why.
Baby Grinch. Like, why did they make Baby Grinch?
Why not?
That's right, the Baby Grinch. What the fuck? What is that? Dude, it is not like Baby Yoda. It is not cute. It is not cute.
It's so hairy.
Baby Yoda's the cuter younger brother.
Oh man.
Anyways, let's stop talking about Baby Grinch.
Fun fact, actually. Hold up. Fun fact about the Grinch. So, Jim Carrey was put under so much makeup that he would have panic attacks or something like that.
Oh my god.
And so that they actually had him train with CIA about drowning.
Oh.
Or the Navy or something like that. I forget, it was CIA or the Navy. And they trained him how to not panic while he's drowning. And that's how he got through the makeup. Because it was like 4 hours of makeup.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Not fun. Not fun at all. But yeah, Elf, I don't think it would have been anywhere near as successful. It might have been like a popular movie of the time, but I don't think it would have lasted as long as it did without Will Ferrell or even Jon Favreau. Like, if one of them was missing, it wouldn't have hit.
Probably.
Yeah. I want to see Elf.
Eric Andre.
Now.
I feel like an Elf remake
like
is in order.
Yeah, it's weird. I have to say, it's weird because like I don't cringe at Eric Andre's skits, but I cringe at Elf, at like Will Ferrell in public being like a dumbass. And I think it's because Eric Andre, like, I know he's self-aware, but Will Ferrell is really good at just being like playing it straight but like he's still like clueless about like what he's doing, or he comes off that way.
There are some scenes I don't know how he could have done it. Like there's the one scene where he's like eating spaghetti that he's poured just a bunch of like sugar and like chocolate syrup and candy and stuff into, and he like takes multiple bites of it, and like I don't know how he didn't vomit.
Hey, you know what? He's just been training for that moment.
Yeah, it really took a lot of training to do that.
Also, as a child, that always looked so delicious, but looking at it as like a grown up, I'm like, no. I don't think I could even get one bite into it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think the spaghetti alone would make me not want to eat it.
He puts spaghetti that has like pasta sauce on it, like with maple syrup on top of that.
He must have like spit it out or something like that afterwards.
Maybe.
Like maybe in between takes. I don't know.
I can't imagine.
Hey, method acting, man. Method acting.
Oh man. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't like how much is there to say about Elf. It's not like a lot of. There's not a lot of substance, really.
I mean, okay, all right. There's substance.
I will say the presentation at the beginning of the film is like fantastic.
Yeah. It's also there's Bob Newhart.
Really,
I love Bob Newhart.
I think that's what really makes it like a slam out of the park. You know? Because like just imagine if freaking Elf like had like a really shitty shack at Santa's North Pole and he was freezing to death. Like that wouldn't have,
that's
like,
the Eric Andre version.
Yeah, that's true actually.
It's just like an outhouse.
I can't not imagine it, like the skits that he would do in an Elf movie. Oh my god, it's so good. I'm sorry.
Speaking of like skits that Will Ferrell does, there are quite a few that I think are very entertaining. When he's just going back and forth between the two guys who are handing out flyers and saying thank you and taking them.
Thank you.
Really good. Did he actually get hit by a car, or are those like set up?
I totally got set
honestly, I feel like I don't know, man. Like it could be either or. Like I definitely feel like Will Ferrell's kind of crazy enough to just walk out and then be like, "Oh yeah, let me get hit by a car," because it was hard. It wasn't like a light hit. It was a decently hard hit.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it was him. But it also could be a stunt thing where like they put pads on him, and maybe they put pads on him and was like, "Hey, fucking get hit by a taxi." And they were like, "Hope for the best."
Does he get hit like twice though?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Like, 2 times in the movie it happens.
It's gotta be planned. There's no way that's gotta be planned.
Yeah.
Who knows, man? It's New York. Anything could happen.
And I think my favorite scene is when he's singing in the shower with her, or like he's in the room and he covers his face and runs into the lockers.
Oh my
god, that's gotta be my favorite scene of all time from that movie.
That caught me really off guard. He just runs straight into them. Oh,
he just runs straight into them, man. Man,
there is a lot of comedy in this film that will just catch you off guard. You're like, what? Oh, what?
It's just like, oh snap! I did not expect that.
Was all the mall stuff also just done in public? Like when he's trying to get on the escalator?
Oh my god.
Oh, I feel like it was because like those people did not really look like actors.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he did it a couple of times. I mean, maybe they hired actors, something like that. But I bet you, like, it was such a run and gun shoot. I bet you that it was normal people, or like they shot it and they were like, "Hey, this is gonna be in a movie. Can you sign this so it's okay we use it?"
Yeah.
Kind of deal. Which is like what YouTube is now, basically.
Yeah. There's like a lot of really, really fun stuff, I guess.
When he jumps on the tree, ugh.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think that's what makes this movie for sure, is the like unexpected factor of a lot of the things that Will Ferrell does. Like genuinely, so much of it you just don't like see coming. Like the tree jump, I was like, is he gonna like try and climb up and fall off when he's trying to put the star? He literally just runs and jumps onto the tree. That's definitely what makes it. I do think like the straight like just story of it is like not very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It is kind of entertaining thinking that fuck, who's the dad, the like biological
Walter
dad?
Hobbs, John Can.
Yeah.
Or James Caan,
I find it's entertaining to me to think that like that guy was in The Godfather, and now this is the character he's playing.
You know what's so funny is that some kids like me had seen that before watching The Godfather. So then it's like, oh, the guy from The Elf is in Godfather. like it's just flipped.
Yo,
Instead
Will
of like,
Ferrell's in Godfather?
Oh my God.
yo, Will Ferrell, Godfather? Who knew? Yeah. No, but like instead of it's like the older people who are like, oh, look, it's him and from Godfather. But no, but like young kids are like, oh no, it's the guy from Elf. Look at him. He's not funny. It's not a funny movie.
He does like really well in this movie, I should say. Like his acting's really, really good, honestly.
He does play a mean dad.
He sure does.
Oh man. Oh, and when he goes to prison. That's another good one. A fun fact, they actually shot that in an insane asylum. Yeah. The more you know.
The whole like I want to say just like the whole mailroom sequence. I love that sequence. Of him just getting sent to the mailroom, making friends and getting drunk, and destroying the entire mailroom operations, which just shows that they have a lack of order in that mailroom already, and Will Ferrell was just exploiting it. Just saying. No, it's just like it's real fun. It's a fun Christmas movie. Are we moving on? Like, do you guys want to say anything more? Moving on to scores.
Well, there's like a couple things I want to say. The relationship in the film is kind of weird.
Oh yeah,
because Will Ferrell's like big child in the movie. It feels weird.
So it shows that they have a baby at the end. How did that conversation go down? How did Zooey Deschanel explain to Will Ferrell like how sex works and all that stuff? Because he literally is just like a child.
Feels very.
Maybe.
Y'all didn't want to think about this, huh?
hey, buddy. So I like you, and I want to have sex with you. What's sex? Here's a video. I'm just explaining it.
So this cool website you're gonna look up called Pornhub.com.
What does that mean? Is that for like corn?
Yes. But yeah, that's definitely like I don't know about this movie. Yeah. I feel like you probably could have left this out.
What, the relationship?
Yeah, it just feels kind of weird.
Yeah.
But
I definitely, but
they mostly use it.
I definitely feel like
they mostly use it as a vessel to create more comedy.
They do.
However, yeah, the relationship does feel kind of weird because Will Ferrell is just like a child. So,
I was gonna say, like, I feel like this movie isn't, like you said, how the plot is kind of like hanging on a string.
Yeah,
I feel like it's more, and it's a very rare case of it because it's extremely hard to pull off. It's more of a character in a world than a world with a character.
Yeah,
because one, it's extremely hard to pull off because it wouldn't be as entertaining. Because why would we care if some fucking elf goes into New York trying to find his dad? Like, why is that interest me? But because like literally the storyline is elf or orphan grows up thinking it's an elf, tries to find its dad, falls in love, bring Santa home. Like that's basically the whole plot.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't sound interesting, but it's more about like the character living in the real world, because he's from two worlds. He's from the elf world, and now he's transitioning into the real world, which is fucking New York, which is one of the people who care little amount, like give the least amount of shit that what you do. And in North Pole, it's like, oh, what are you doing, buddy? Da-da-da. What toys are you making? And then he goes to fucking Brooklyn, New York, and it's like, what the fuck get out of my way. Like, what do you do? You're wearing an elf costume. Get out of my way, man. I don't care you're my son. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna do conclude some of our thoughts.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Oh boy.
Beat you to the punch, Joe.
Oh no.
I'll give it a 9 and a thumbs up.
Oh wow. Okay. Started out strong.
Started out very strong.
I should have gone last, but but I wanted to go first.
All right. You're just that excited.
All right. I'll go next because I'm probably the most negative. I give it like a 5.
Higher than I thought.
Like it's like, on the one hand, there are times where I really appreciate the jokes, but there are times where it gets like too cringy for me to handle. Like I really hate like socially unaware characters in situations.
Mm-hmm.
Like essentially clueless characters who don't know what they're doing is like stupid, and I just like, I'm like, no.
No.
Especially like the scene that got me, weirdly enough, is when he like yells that the Santa is fake. That one gets me.
Your beard smells. You smell like beef and cheese. I love that. I forgot about that.
That one just like, I'm just like, no, please.
You sit on a lies.
And then also I feel like the actual story that's presented is not nearly as entertaining as Will Ferrell's antics in the film.
Mm-hmm.
But like when those antics are good, they're really fucking good. And also the beginning of the film is insanely creative. That set is incredible. I wish they did more with it. But yeah, it's worth watching. If you like The Office, you'll probably enjoy the humor a lot more than I did.
As for me, I have a lot of the same like complaints about the film that Joe does. There's not really a story. I'm not like the biggest fan of cringe humor. This film is like pretty tolerable as far as that goes, though, I'd say. It's just like overall it's a fun Christmas movie. I'm not like absolutely in love with it. I don't dislike it though. Like if it's on, it's like, yeah, it's Elf, you know? It's Elf. Yeah. It's like a 6 out of 10 movie.
It's Elf.
It's Elf.
What the?
Yeah, I mean, I like it, definitely.
Elf.
6 out of 10. I thought you would have been a 7, Brandon.
I'm
a little disappointed. I'm disappointed in you.
I don't know. As far as Christmas movies go, that's pretty good.
How do you feel, Brendan?
What?
You've disappointed Mitchell.
I'm sorry, Mitchell. I'll do better next time.
Next time you watch Elf.
Oh, maybe that is a 7.
Actually, watch Home Alone 5 for me. Then tell me your reviews.
Okay, I'm sorry.
sure it'll be a 10.5 out of 20.
For next time is Home Alone 5.
Actually,
oh no, I gotta leave. I'm sorry. I gotta go.
Actually, we have next week coming up. The album is going to be a Christmas record, which is the ZE Records Christmas compilation, and the movie is A Christmas Story, directed by Bob Clark.
Oh.
A Christmas
Is that the
classic.
1930s one? 1940s?
No, the 1983 one. Is there a 1930s one? I don't even know.
Oh, I'm thinking of It's a Wonderful Life. My bad.
I kind of wish it was that film.
I've seen A Christmas Story before. As a kid, I enjoyed it. It's been a hot minute since I've seen it, so this will be interesting to go back to. But
Okay.
I mean,
I have seen parts of this film, like just from being at like other people's houses on like Christmas Eve and stuff. I remember not enjoying it at all.
wow.
So
Wait, I'm pretty sure the guy who stars in A Christmas Story actually either produced or directed Iron Man, or not Iron Man. I think he directed.
he's Jon
No, he
Favreau.
right. No. Sorry, produced. I'm pretty sure he either produced or wrote Iron Man or something like that. The guy who the kid.
He's an actor in Iron Man and in
he?
Spider-Man: Far From Home. Who is?
So Peter Billingsley,
Was he an actor?
he's
Yeah.
William Ginteriva in Iron Man, but he's also an executive producer.
Ah, that's probably what I was
I don't
thinking.
know who that person is in Iron Man. I don't remember that. But yeah.
I don't either.
Oh, I know. Okay, I remember. Fucking.
Oh, he was in Elf.
He was.
He was the guy who checked up on him during making toys.
Oh yeah. So he is.
Oh yeah. What is it? I know who he plays in Iron Man. He is when Jeff Bridges is like angry at that scientist because the scientist can't figure out how to get the arc reactor small.
Oh.
He plays that scientist. I remember. I think Red Letter Media
That's
fucking
him.
mentioned that being the case.
I see.
So. He's also apparently in Spider-Man: Far From Home at some point.
I haven't seen Far From Home, so
I don't remember his face in Far From Home at all. Maybe he was just too far from the camera.
Damn. But yeah. I think that's probably it for our show. Mitchell, thank you for being on.
Thank you for having me,
It was
as
wonderful
always.
having you. Yeah.
anything you want to say before we close out,
Yeah.
Mitchell?
Thank you for having me. Joe, I love your mustache.
Wow.
Brendan, I love your hair. I love all the fans that listen. All 28 to what range to what it was 79? Is that the range?
Well, we have how many? I think we're at 27 subscribers.
Oh, all the 27 subscribers. I love you.
Yeah.
I will be writing each of you a very detailed handwritten letter. Expect that in your mail.
He
Signed.
has your addresses. Be scared.
Hide your mailbox. Hide your pens. I'm gonna write you a fucking Christmas letter, and you'll be so overjoyed with Christmas, you'll have a heart attack of love.
Yes.
All right, I think we should end this show.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, we'll see you all next week. Have a good day.